Greetings everybody. So today I am here with two durians that were kindly sent to me by Miamifruit.org. These are part of a new section that they have on their website where they have a whole bunch of different varieties of durians that are from Malaysia. These are frozen durians. That's really the only way to get them over here in enough time where it's going to be fresh, because durians go bad fairly quickly. But these ones are tree dropped durians. So normally if you get a frozen durian just from like an Asian supermarket, they're terrible. First of all, they're one type of durian called the montong durian, which comes from Thailand. They're usually picked before they fully ripen, and they ripen off the tree. If they're tree drop, that means that the fruits are matured all the way and they have a better flavor. So you want them to tree drop and then you immediately freeze them and then send them over. So that's what they're doing over at Miamifruit. And today I'm going to compare these two. I've got the D13 right here, and this is the D101, and these are heavy. Let me put these down. Well, they smell like durian, that's for sure. Yeah, so I've had these on my counter all day, so maybe like 8 hours, 9 hours, something like that. They're still like a little bit cold, but I think they are defrosted most of the way through. They should be. You can defrost them in your fridge, just like put them in the fridge and like overnight, and then the next day it will be ready to eat. But if you do that, all the things in your fridge are going to smell like durian. So it's better to just put it on the counter. I've made that mistake. Also, Tupperware. Be careful with your durian. If you put it in a Tupperware, everything you put in that Tupperware afterwards will have a taste of durian, which may or may not be a good thing. Durians are not something to be trifled with. Sometimes the thorns are very, very sharp. And can you imagine, like, if you had a durian tree and one of these things fell on you? It'd be like getting clubbed in the head with a mace. There's many, many different varieties of durian out there. And people who've had durian that don't like durian, you might just not have had the right one for you. I have reviewed several on this channel, but most of the time when I reviewed durian on the channel, it's in pieces. They're not full fruits like this. So I'm like a little bit inexperienced opening these things, but I'm going to show you like just what I've gathered from memory. First of all, you got to be careful with the thorns. As I said, you might want to be wearing gloves when you do this. And if you look at the bottom of a durian, you can see there's kind of like this little star at the very bottom. And you can even see it's breaking a little bit right there. That's what happens when these are ripe. I mean, these things are meant to spread their seeds. They are a fruit. And to do that, they actually split open when they're ripe. And since these are tree-dropped durians, they do split a little bit, which is good. It makes it easier to open. And some people, you can actually like rip this open with their hands. I actually probably can. Yeah, this is ripe enough where I could do it with my hands. And even tree-ripened ones can sometimes be a little tricky to deal with. You just find those seams, and you could take a knife, or, you know, a cleaver, because why not, and hack into that seam and give it a twist, and that'll pop it open. So I can show you a little bit here. Yeah, if you just give it a little twist like that, it helps open it up a little bit, like so. But yeah, this one's pretty easy to open. I don't think I would actually need the knife on it. Oh yeah. That looks nice. Really, really good. Okay, so next, the D13. Now this one, as you can see on the bottom there, it hasn't fully cracked open just on its own. Doesn't mean that it's not ripe, but it means that it's going to need a little bit of help. Some varieties open up more than others. So I can see the little seams there. I'm going to stick the point of this cleaver in there. Okay, there we go. Ow. Okay, here we go. This is the 101, the D101, and it looks really nice in there. Nice and orange colored, as you can see. Looks nice and fresh. It is like maybe a little bit frozen still, but mostly thawed out, and I think that's going to be a good way to have it. Smells similar to your standard kind of durian, nothing too odd about it. Like nice eggy, vanilla-ish kind of smell. There's like a slight like herbal kind of smell to it, but just barely, like a little something extra to it. All right, let me give it a try. Sometimes you bite into durian, it's got like a little bit of chew to it. This is not the case. There's like a thin membrane in it, and then the inside has the texture of like a custard or like a pudding. It's like a vanilla custard sort of taste. There's an egginess to it, a vanilla taste to it, a nice sweetness to it. Very creamy tasting. A lot of people don't like durian because it can have an onion or garlic kind of flavor to it. This has a little bit of that, but not as strongly as your standard durian. It's pretty mild. So this would be one that if you really hate that sort of flavor, you might not like it. But if you've never had durian before, this would be a better one to start with than ones that you get in the United States, like at any Asian supermarket. So that's the beginning flavor. But what's notable about this is the aftertaste. The aftertaste is sour. It's got a sour berry kind of flavor, like a little bit like raspberries. A while ago I reviewed something called ruby chocolate, which is a chocolate that is treated to make it pink and also gives it kind of like a fruity sort of flavor to it. It actually tastes a little bit like that. It's an odd comparison, but if you've had that, it does have a little bit of that flavor. There's actually like a touch of a chocolatey sort of flavor to that, like raspberry chocolate. Okay, next, the D13, and this one's a little bit easier to hold. Hey, I'm not joking. You can see those little dots on my hand. This thing will get you if you're not careful. Thankfully, if you want to get this at Miamifruit.org, they sell these in trays also. And if you happen to be in Malaysia and you go to a durian stall, they'll have them already prepared. So if you're concerned about getting yourself while trying to open up one of these, you can always go for the tray instead. But, I don't know, getting the whole fruit's kind of fun. Alright, so I'm gonna take a nugget of the D13. The flesh on this one is much lighter in color. And the smell on that is funkier. Definitely funkier. But will it taste funky? Let's find out. This one still has like the vanilla custard sort of thing. It's got an eggy taste, it's got the vanilla taste in there. It does not have the sourness, it does not have the berry flavor. It does have maybe a little bit of the chocolate taste. And it also has a bit of a bitterness to it. Not the front taste, but like the aftertaste. It's a little bit bitter. But not in a bad way. Like the bitterness in durian is something that some people look for. Like there's so many different types of durian out there, and depending on your preferences, you might want one that is more savory or sweet or tart, or one that tastes like berries, or one that tastes like bananas. There's like so many different flavor notes in durian. And this one is definitely one that's more for if you like that bitter taste. Me, I'm a little bit more partial to the other one, but it is good, and it's like miles above the frozen monthong durian that you get at an Asian supermarket in the United States. When you bite into it, it's less like a pudding and more of like a whipped cream in texture. The D13 is sweeter. than the D101. I'd say it's like an 8 out of 10. The 101, I didn't give a sweetness scale for it. It's still pretty close. This is probably like a 7 out of 10 on sweetness. But the notable thing is this has tartness to it. This has probably got like a 3 out of 10 on tartness, while the 13, I know I'm just holding clumps at you now. This is the 101. It's got a 3 out of 10 on tartness. This is the 13. It's got very little tartness. Maybe like a 0 or a 1. Let's give it a 1. As far as a favorite out of these two, I like the, the 101. That's a waste. I could wash it off. The 101 is nice. I like that tartness in there. But that's not everybody's cup of tea. Some people like the bitterness. Some people like something that's a little bit more mild. And I would say the 13 is better for that. I'm being careful this time. But both of those things are really, really tasty. If you've never had durian before, you need a more like introductory durian, I'd say the 101 is better for that. If you've had durian before and you have learned to appreciate some of the little more interesting notes like that bitterness to it, then you might want to go for the 13. That's a little bit more advanced. And yeah, fresh durians are better than frozen durians, of course, but if you can't get on a plane and go over to Southeast Asia, this isn't that far off, you know? The ones that you get, the Monthong durians that I keep trashing on, those ones are pretty far from a fresh durian. Monthong durians are actually pretty good if you have them fresh in Thailand, but those ones, the ones you're getting at the supermarket, just like aren't a good representation of what durians taste like. If you are interested in trying some good varieties of durian, check out Miamifruit.org. It's really cool that they have so many varieties that are very, very hard to get your hands on here in the United States and elsewhere outside of Southeast Asia. So check out that link that I'll put in the description below. There's also a promo code there. And thank you again to Miamifruit.org for sending me these lovely durians. I would like to give a big shout out to Smarter Every Day, AltPod, and the Harbor Leaf Tea Company. They are mega patrons over on Patreon.com. I'm sure you've heard about Patreon.com, but basically it is how I can afford to go on all the trips that I go on and how I get all the fruit that I review. That is all from funding from viewers like you. So if you enjoy what you're seeing here and you want to help me out, please check out the link in the description below, and there you can find out more. Thanks so much, guys. Bye-bye.